Hey YouTube, so this week we were working on I think it's a 2008 Dodge. Had a lot of paint chips down in that area. There's a little patch up here, you can't see it now because I've got it buried in Pour 15. Down there, you can see how the blue goes to black there. Basically that's just Pour 15. So we blasted everything away, Pour 15'd it. I'll scuff that up rough so we can put epoxy primer on it. Then we can repaint the sides. This guy likes this truck. There's over 300,000 kilometers on it. But as you can see, the door bottoms and everything, we're in Ontario, so this is his winter truck, but he's had it from new. He keeps it oiled. Things are in really good shape. Every few years or so, it basically hits the body shop and we do stuff. So that was the one issue we had. That repair, we wanted to look at it. There was a crack in the paint for whatever reason. So once this is all nice and dry, I'm going to peel this out. I think they glued it on this patch. There's a little patch panel underneath here. So what I'm going to do is grind out the top where it was cracking the paint, and I'm going to weld that. I don't know why it wasn't welded. The metal behind it is super thick, real nice. We bought a new tailgate because it had a little bit of this, but it's got a lot of that over there from underneath that terrible plastic they put on the later. On this generation, they put like a plastic air dam or something on the back. Just, I don't know. I just not run it at all, but he likes it original. We had a little ding here, so we knocked that out. It's relatively straight now. A little bit of filler and some epoxy primer, and that'll block out nice. Again, Pour 15 at the bottom. There was some paint peeling from whatever he hit. Down this edge, same thing. Cleaned all that up. There's a little ding right here. Don't know if you can see that. There you go. So I'll probably weld a couple plates, basically right in the deepest part of the seam. I'll probably do one here and one here and one here. Pull those out until she's close, Just minimize the filler we got to use. Random little spot right here that was really, really bad, so I had to put a big blanket all around this, sandblast that out. Again, you're looking at Pour 15, that's why it's black. Some guys say, look, you just sandblast it and do the epoxy primer, but I figure you put this on and it seems to take care of the issues that come back later. If you do this, it seems to hold up. You do, though, once this is hard, it's almost like, wait a few days, it's almost hard as glass. So you do have to make sure you rough it up with really fresh sandpaper. But then, use your epoxy primer over that and it'll stick like crazy. It ain't coming off. And this side, similar to the other side, but it hadn't been patched before. It had just been cleaned up at one time and it was coming through. So we did the same thing. Pour 15 all around, blasted all the junk off. Here you can see, though, I didn't even bother with that spot because it's bad, but I'll probably come, you can see where it starts kind of warping and going funny. So that means the rust underneath is bad. So we're probably going to come down to about here and cut this out and cut our patch out of another fender or a patch panel and somewhere right back to about here. So we'll cut that out. Now, of course, it's probably okay up to the lip, but when we get up here, like, we might want to come up a couple inches, cut that right out. Not even treating that because that won't be there. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're going to repaint the back bumper. So there's a little bit of some stuff coming at the edge. Some little bubbles. Again, a truck this old, normally you wouldn't, but, considering the shape this one's in, I mean, look at your door bottoms and stuff. Like, tires are like new, and he's got snows the same on the same wheels. Interior, driver's seat's as nice as this one. The other thing we got on this, I mean, this happens to all trucks, but yeah, so we had a leak there, and if you look in the hole, you can see where the windshield guy must have threw polyurethane in. And that was about 6-7 years ago, and I guess it didn't leak, and then all of a sudden it started leaking because it probably rusted away. So I just spun a brush on that to see what was there. We're gonna have to clean that up better, but I'm basically gonna cut a chunk right out of the roof and weld a chunk in. clean it right across. A little bit of rust in the middle there where there was some stone chips. I don't know if you can see it right above the mirror wire. And then the rest of it's really nice. So clean that up, go over to the middle and pour 15 that spot and whatever we do here. And so we're gonna have to repaint the roof, probably blend out the back fenders and re-clear them completely. And this door, it had already been done, this truck from here down, so we'll just do that again on that one door. Repaint the front fender, a few touch-ups on the other front fender. And the hood, I'm not sure, maybe some of you guys will have an idea out there, but there's a chip right here on the hood, which I can touch up. We haven't decided what to do with this. Let's see if it'll focus. Hang on. There, give it something to focus. Get out of that light. So yeah, right? That sucks. So I'm not sure what to do with that. It is bubbled. So I don't know if I should grind that as tiny as possible and then burn it with a little bit of acid. Do the pour 15 thing and try to blend in that little spot. The finish on the truck is so nice that it might be hard to hide. So I might just try to do that and see what happens. And if it hides, cool. And if it don't, might just blend the front of the hood up, re-clear the hood. So that's what we're working on today. Just wanted to do a short video on this one. There's a little spot right there, but I'm not repainting this whole fender. I'll just go in there, clean that up, and then, you know, put a little bit of blue in there and fade it in. It'll be fine. Again, this is his winter truck. He's got one of those Rebel, some kind of Ram Rebel with the, I don't know, looks like a Raptor. It's got big tires and crazy stuff. What else have we done? If you've seen this car, I'm not sure if I loaded all the videos with this car. But yeah, the bumper has to come off for paint, which isn't why I took it off. The fender was a little bit out of shape, but basically there's issues with that door. The door was twisted. So I've got the door off and the fender off, and I wanted to basically measure the car and make sure it wasn't the car that was out. And the car is pretty good. It's within a 1/16 of another one, exactly the same. So we're gonna leave the car alone. We're definitely gonna have to do some surgery to the door. That's a 69 Satellite Sport. So we're not sure what we're gonna do with the door yet. My plan was to take the seam sealer off because somebody's reskinned the door, cut the welds so the skin can move loosely on the door, and then basically, you know, unwarp the warp. I have a feeling that if you go up here, that's on too tight and sticking out. The problem is, and I'm gonna have to strip it further, I don't think there's any welds to cut. I have a feeling the skin was epoxied on, which could create quite a nightmare. So, gonna have to come up with a different plan on that. There's a few things we can do though, like if the top's out, I might have to go into the back of the door and basically take a pie cut out of it somewhere, pull it in, and weld it back. The thing is, the whole door may be warped. I'll have to set it up and measure the door some more. I've only measured the car so far. The car's okay. We do have another door we could rebuild if need be. Luckily this guy's a fanatic, so he's got a lot of Mopar stuff. But anyway, that's all we're doing today. Cheers.